This week, we got Mr. Handle Biz, Have Fun, aka Mr. Why So Serious, a Bay Area native who captured all NFL fans' hearts during his time with the Buffalo Bills, Stevie Johnson.
Let's go.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. I'm DK with my best friend of 25 years, Rip. We are back with an NFL guy. We had Calvin Johnson last month, back with Stevie Johnson. Here's what I know 100% for sure as fact, Rip. Man, I'm going to miss some of these. So I apologize to Buffalo Bills fans in advance. I'm going to do my best, though. I'm sure Stevie wished that he had a guy, Rip, like Josh Allen, throwing him the football. Stevie had to deal with, he had to endure. Let me hit you. JP Lossman. You tell me what university. JP Lossman.
North Dakota State.
I don't have it up, but it's a good try. Trent Edwards.
Stanford.
Boom. Fitzmagic. That's a good one. That was a magical time for Stevie J too, by the way. Fitzmagic, Arizona guy.
Harvard. All very smart dudes. Highland High School.
Oh boy, wonderful. EJ Manuel.
Florida State.
And I'm trying to stay excited here. Then Buffalo time leaves. So that was the Josh Allen part that I'm sure he wished that he got. Then he went out and he got Kaepernick.
Up Rip. In San Francisco, right? Yeah.
What school? Rip. Come on.
Nevada. Colin Kaepernick.
Lovely. And then finally, I think he wrapped up his career with the sex god, with the sex goat, 9 kids, Phil Rivers.
That's North Carolina State, baby.
Excellent. There you go. I think I might have missed a couple, but that was my best job. Moral of the story is amazing human being, amazing football player that managed to capture our hearts with those players as throwing them the football. Not a lot of great names in there, except for, like I said, I really like those Fitzmagic Buffalo years. So damn good. And
yeah, we love Stephon Diggs, but man, if Stevie J was 10 years later, I don't even know if Buffalo would need Mr. Diggs up there, because yeah, Stevie would be slide right in that spot pretty nicely.
Oh boy, there's levels to this game, Rip. Different generations. I don't even know if Diggs is another level. I think at this point in time, I think every 10 years the athletes get that much better. Different conversation though, but you're totally right. Same swag, same dude. Through all of it, he came out a Bills legend. And he's on the One Star Recruits, and he has so many great things to not only say about Buffalo, but dude, we learned his favorite food is something that I would have never guessed. Stay tuned. Great interview. What else do I got in Buffalo, Rip, that I wanted to talk about? I'm just coming out hot because I feel like I knew half of that quarterback list. Dude, that quarterback room seems to have really good vibes, to be honest with you. We got Josh Allen, Matt Barkley, who turned out to kind of be a decent dude. Right, he's kind of a douchey dude when he got drafted, and turns out he's kind of like I want to have a beer with dude now. It seems like a little bit. Chase Keenum, we really liked him when he was with the Rams. We used to go out there for training camp all the time. Perfect spot for him, third dude in that room. It's a good room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got the veterans there backing him up, and I mean, we had Colt McCoy in Arizona, who's pretty reliable backup, probably not a starter, but good to have as a backup. And yeah, Matt Barkley, Case Keenum could at least hold you above water if Josh Allen ever missed time, but they're rolling right now.
Yeah, I think I hit him with a Chase Keenum. Everybody's got to do that at some point in time. Yeah, it's the power of putting people together, like Rip with this podcast. You put them together. The power of how much better we are when we don't have Nick B on our pod. He brings us down a notch to the Cardinals level.
Although he was on our most listened to episode ever a couple weeks ago with Calvin Johnson. So Nick B probably bottom at least 3 or 4 more episodes with that.
He's a McSorley of this podcast for sure. That's 100%. Straight up, dude. Dude, all right, cool. That's my Bills talk. Shit, they got Joe Burrow. The Bengals, they're surging a little bit Monday night. You tuning into that one, Rip?
Oh, that's going to be a hell of a game in Cincinnati. Possible playoff preview, man. And some of those playoff spots are locked up already, but that one still means a lot for home field advantage and everything else. So Burrow's hot, Allen's hot. That's going to be a great game on January 2nd.
Everybody knows the key to the NFL playoffs is going in hot. It's very fucking important. That's why it's good. They got Buffalo fans can get their bet in early too for Denver fired Hackett. Everybody knew that was coming. It's a complete mess there. Cardinals are just as bad as Denver. That's our team listeners, Arizona Cardinals. Different episode in the new year, Rip. I have some thoughts though. It's mark the tape, bro. But Leslie Frazier, if you're betting, man, plus 1,600 for that job. Defensive coordinator there in Buffalo. Rip, You want the odds for some Broncos head coaches real fast, then we'll get to this interview.
Yeah, I know. I know Sean Payton's near the top of that list for sure.
Dude, I know that's what got me excited about this shit. I can't believe he's out there. He would look so good in Arizona red, just throwing it into the universe. By the way, plus 400, Dan Quinn plus 500, Jim Caldwell. Who we got? We got Bieniemy down there plus 900.
What about Harbaugh? Harbaugh on the list? Jim Harbaugh?
Not on the list. Sleeper, Kellen Moore. A lot of people are going to want Kellen Moore plus 1,000. That's good money, Buffalo fans. So keep your one of these good teams is going to lose a good offensive coordinator to this terrible job in Denver and see if they can turn it around. I think there will be 6 or 7 firings, Rip, in the next 2 weeks. By the time you're here in Hawaii, I think we'll be witnessing about 3 to 4 and then 7 total when it's all said and done. We'll see. Lots of good jobs should open up. Let's get positive. Change it. Negative to positive. This dude is not only an inspiration in the name of action, in the name of getting off your ass and doing things, collaborations, trying new stuff. If you want something, go and get it. The cousin of Kawhi Leonard, Bill's icon. Enjoy the session with Stevie Johnson.
Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a husband, a father, a Bay Area native, but a legend in Buffalo, New York, Mr. Handle Biz Have Fun, a.k.a. Mr. Why So Serious. We got Stevie Styles, a.k.a. Stevie Johnson in the house. Thanks for hanging out with the One Star, Stevie.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Thank you for this time.
Hey, we're glad to have you. We've been trying to get you on for a minute. Club HBHF, we're going to get to that later in the show here, but you came on our radar a little bit because we had Kurt Flights on the pod, who is a co-founder of PSD Underwear. And he told us some amazing stories about your involvement and how you kind of really jump-started that whole thing that turned PSD into a multi-million-dollar company. Long story short, real quick for the listeners, you tweeted at them that you wanted a box of their product back in, I think it was 2010 when you were playing for the Bills. One thing led to another. You got a $25,000 fine in a game against the Patriots for lifting up that waistband and showing that PSD logo. And Matt Barnes got involved. Snoop Dogg got involved. It blew up, and really they've been in the hottest in the game ever since. You have a 5-star taste in fashion. Where did that come from? And did our guy Kurt give you an ownership stake in the company for repping them back in the day?
Yeah. First off, Ryan and Kurt, the brothers, man, they is love forever because of that. You know, they never changed and they honored their word on everything. So they've kept me taken care of, you know. So I really appreciate them. You know, we on this podcast, you know, I want to go a little more in depth. I don't want to just answer and say, yeah, you know, they looked out for me. But you got to understand they was just artists and creative minds. You know, they was just fully involved in the community, you know, and I seen that in them, and I seen like the hustle that they had. And so to see them now is pretty cool. You know, it's like the hard work pays off and believe in what you love. And you know, I think that's something that people can recognize about them, not just the you know, the style that they put out on all of the PSD underwear on the briefs, but you know, just the creativity and the hustle, because it didn't just happen overnight. You know, that was a hustle, that was a grind, you know, and I believed in them, and you know, they believed in me. You know, we was just having fun, but they definitely honored the contract originally.
Nice. You know what's crazy, Stevie? Mike Miller literally has almost the exact same words to describe why he got involved early with PSD and Kirk, and big friends of ours. We love George Trulette. He's my guy too, man. Super cool. Let me ask you this. So from Fashion Guru, something that's wild to me and pretty amazing is you're the official author of a children's book now. There's Always a Way with Stevie J. Our listeners in fact, can order that on Amazon. Go check it out if you need a last-minute holiday gift for your kiddos. Stevie, what was your motivation to write a children's book, and how did that opportunity enter your world?
It all started. Let's start from the beginning. Then, you know, my you know, in the household that I grew up in, you know, I seen a book that was published by my stepfather. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I didn't think that, you know, we can even make books, or, you know what I mean, hard copy type books, and you made this, or you got to publish. So that's where the spark came from. You know what I'm saying? So I initially was interested in, you know, trying to create a book, but I didn't know what I would create. You know, I just write stories and stuff, and that's all intertwined with the music and everything. But one thing led to another. Fast forward to how it really happened. I did a partnership with Thin Man Brewery in Lewiston. So they did like a Watch So Serious beer can for us, and it was good for our Exposure Academy and Club HBHF. And then there was a guy that came up to me and was just like, he was like, yo, I created this book, or I created this story about you, and I want you to check it out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, anybody with a spark, with a creative mind is doing that, and then using me, it's like, okay, you put some time in it. I can at least read it, and give him a okay, good job or something. So he ended up emailing me, and I ended up getting a script, and it was pretty cool what he was doing. I seen the vision, what he was trying to do, and at that time I'm thinking, like, in pandemic, how can I attract the masses? You know what I'm saying? So I'm out here doing this and that, really opening up to these businesses and going out and doing these partnerships with places that I never would have been in Lewiston. Like we did a music concert out there, like rap music and all that. It was crazy, and they appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I loved about it. So it was like just that little spark led to this, and led to this guy coming up to me, who's Charlie, our co-author. And we ended up making this book, man, and here we are. It's like we doing tours with children's schools and giving them out. Is pretty cool, man. Everybody's saying that they appreciate it, and that's all it is.
Yo, you're a dope partnership collaborator, man. Like I know it's kind of sometimes it's a personality things of people being able to hop in other swimming pools, if you will, and swim with others and do cool stuff. Second story here, PSD, and now we got this, and shout out to Charlie, actually. Charlie, Rip and I, this could be a bad idea or a good idea, but Stevie, we have a lot of 5 stars on this podcast, and they give a lot of good parenting tips for us and like daily use tips. And I was kind of thinking maybe I could throw those in a children's book. So maybe if Charlie's down to hit another one, bro, hit me up. I want to get in the collab game like Stevie, man. Very impressed.
Man, for sure. That's what it's about too, because I feel like I was blessed with football to be in a position to be okay and taken care of. I handle my responsibilities. I have my family. My wife played a huge part in that. And I was like, okay, pandemic, people out there hurting right now. How can I help them? How can I spread this? You know what I'm saying? And, we got to reach out to the youth. So that's why I started with the children's book. Charlie was a blessing in disguise, I guess, going up to Lewiston and then running into him. So it was just work with the whole plan. And now we can link up and we can create, Imagine We Publishers. We got a great relationship with them. They just locked in the deal with Wegmans, and it's pretty cool, man, how it's moving just off of a spark, just off believing.
That's the lesson. That's the lesson to me. Take the meeting, get on the plane. Even if like a guy like Stevie, just for you to take the time to say, I'm going to take this back and read it and give some positive feedback into the world. I think that's a rarity. I think athletes, people coming up, remember this conversation with Stevie. This is the stuff, man, because now that's making a difference in people's lives all over, and children's lives now from you taking the time. Role model stuff, bro. Role model stuff.
Right. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool how things been happening. So many cool stories that happen of just, you're not even like really focused on that. You just going for something else just naturally. And, but you got something that you believe in, when you got something in you that you believe in, it somehow oozes out somehow in some way, in some form, or you go meet somebody, it's just, you got to just believe in it and go for it sometimes,
It reminds me that we had another wide receiver, Calvin Johnson, Megatron, on earlier this month. And his post-career passion is advancing cannabis as a healing agent with his company, Primitive Group. Same thing, take the meeting, get out there, understand that I have another passion for it too, and let's do some. Stevie, tell us a little bit about Handle Biz, Have Fun, and the Exposure Academy. I think it lines up with what we're talking about. Is this something that you've always thought of doing when you retired? It sounds like this was in you from even a youngster. Tell us a little bit about the academy and same deal, how that got started. We always are trying to help others get involved.
Yeah. So with the academy, it was just something that I wanted to put together, like a platform for student athletes and entrepreneurs, initially junior college athletes, people that was like me. I wanted to give them a platform to where we can, of course, give them tips on football skills and stuff. But, my main thing was, like I said, the pandemic was huge. We got to get these kids right. We got to get their minds right now. We got to expose them to situations. So, I created this academy to where it's sort of like a symposium. We train them on the field half the day. We get them through workouts. We feed them. But we also house them, kids from all over. You know, we house them and we run them through situations. They don't know what's going to happen, but we basically put them to test in real world type situations. You know, something I ended up learning from the NFL symposium that I had the opportunity to go to. So, you know, I just felt like I wanted to spread that to all those student athletes and junior college players that's out there, and entrepreneurs that think they want to play football. We also added an entrepreneur in our last docuseries, Exposure Academy, and he's you know, he got that perspective of a football player, you know, so
Yeah.
he got that out of the system. You know, we'll see how it goes for him as we continue.
It's also important. I even think the aspect of the way that you collaborate with companies, with other humans, with other entrepreneurs would be something very valuable in this NIL, name, image, likeness era, because it's the wild, wild west. Are you talking to any of your youngsters right now about planning for that or how to have conversations? It seems like you're really good at collabs and partnerships. Is that conversations you're having with youngsters right now? Is that something y'all are thinking about?
Yeah, definitely. That's the entrepreneurial side of the game, you know, of this game of life. You know, you got your passion, what you love, your hobby, but then, you know, you got to also have that connection. You know, you got to know this person or get plugged on to this podcast that we on now, you know, because that's the intangibles. That's the element that you need. And most of the kids that we got, we only ran one season, but we've run this for 4 years already. And most of the kids that we get, they initially think that they make it only off of their talent and their skill. But that's where they hit that wall at, because even the most talented may not break through because he don't know how to communicate with his coach. So we know the talent. We don't go out and specifically find certain people or with certain mentalities. They come to us. We welcome everybody. You know, you invest your time in us, we go give it to you raw. We not just go give you no leg drills and this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I did. That's not how I got to where I was. You know, so I'm gonna give it to you real. You know, and that's what these kids need. And even if they don't make it in football, we can teach them to be calm and patient in situations off the field. You know what I'm saying? You don't carry that over. You know, so it's a pretty cool program, and we're empowering all, not just myself. Like, this is a program that's going to be for former pros, you know, because like I'm peeping how you understanding like things that I get into, but it's all things that I've just been in my life. So I'm just recycling what I've been through, you know.
It actually feels a little bit like that rookie symposium you mentioned, but maybe 5 or 6 years early. Like, why not give them to that, you know, when they're in high school or before, you know, when they need that action? Like, why wait until they're in the NFL, you know? And
I mean, it's a great program, but the thing is, you only get that if you draft it.
Right.
So the free agents don't even get this, and it's kind of unfair because we all need it, even the free agents, because half the league is free agents that make it, and you know what I mean. And they get their contracts and this and that, and we only know about those maybe 30% that really get it. But there's a whole bunch of players that don't know how to manage that stuff. You know what I mean? And this program is more like a mentorship for you know what I'm saying, for that level. You know what I'm saying? So
good. It's so good. You ever thought about coaching, Stevie?
Well, not. I mean, yeah. Obviously,
life coaching. That seems like you're doing. You ever thought about coaching football? Just in the back of that mind, it seems like I feel motivated right now.
Yeah. No. So I got that out the way with high school. I knew essentially I didn't want to be obligated though to a schedule. You know, I didn't want to be obligated to going. Even if I jump to NFL, I know I can go there and coach, but now I got to listen to this. I got to do it. I want to do it kind of my way first, you know, in a sense of I don't want to just be over there and being told what to do. I really want to get these players right. Like, come on, dog. Like, we got to have a real connection now with these players and with these younger players that's coming into the leagues, you know.
We're Arizona Cardinals fans, and I'm just thinking about a wide receivers coach out there. Maybe you and Fitz together getting this thing back on track in Arizona with the motivation.
No, Fitz is perfect for it. Fitz is perfect for it. You know, I just feel like not now. I feel like I can do that and be obligated to that later on in life. You know,
back.
I got this vision. I know what I want. Because I want to help like retired players. You know, I've been through situations where it's like, what do I do now? You know, I got all this time on my hands. What do I do? And I know there's other retired players that feel the same way as me that probably had less than I got. So I'm going to create a program to where you can have your own exposure academy. We'll manage everything, but you'll have this platform where you will be able to get players from your city that don't know Stevie, but they know you. You feel me? And we can just create from there. So that's how I'm thinking.
Like a graduate school for the NFL, man. You're onto something. This is money, dude. You live in one of my top 3 all-time favorite cities ever, San Diego, California. What's your favorite activity to do in San Diego that maybe not everybody knows about? We know about Pacific Beach. We know about SeaWorld. What you got that maybe not everybody knows about?
Pho. We tour pho restaurants.
Shut up.
We just found a pho out on Claremont Mesa. It's right off the freeway. We just found like last week. Me and my wife, we love going pho hopping. So
is that a date night? You got the kids eating that too, or is it date night?
Yeah. And to be honest, like it's surprising I'm really talking about this because when my wife used to take me, I used to be like, oh no, I'm good. Like I ain't even trying to. But now it's like, yo, let's go, man. When you ready to go? You ready for you fun today?
Especially in the winter.
Especially when it dips down into the 50s. Shout out to Buffalo where it's like 10 right now, but especially when it dips down into the 40s in SD.
They love it. Yeah, it's good though. But that's what we like to do though. Like we'll go to Vegas. We'll go to Vegas just to eat. No, that's it.
Yo, most interesting, man. I love pho. I live here on the island of Maui, on the west side of Maui. I've been craving some pho for months now, bro. I love it that you're bringing that one up. Yo, thank you, man. I appreciate. How about Buffalo Wings real fast? When you go back to Buffalo, just what's your spot that you hit?
So they got one that's called Kings. That's pretty good. They got one. What's the one? It's one. That's
out west.
Yes, it's out west. Where do you go when you go back to Buffalo? They do pretty different things. I like the creativity of it, Yeah. I don't really go out too much though.
Hey, Stevie, we end every interview with the segment we call 1 star to 5 star. Everybody knows we're the 1 stars, but we're trying to get better with advice and tips from every guest we have on this podcast, like yourself. So I want to ask you a few questions, and we'll use a 1 to 5 star scale. Let's say 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest.
Okay.
But first off, I love that you have a number 13 Buffalo Sabres jersey on right now, rocking down in sunny San Diego. You get any shout outs for that down there?
Yeah. I get a few let's go Buffaloes out here. I love it. I love that.
All right. Because this leads into my first question. People talk about fan bases and how passionate they are, but Buffalo and really Bills Mafia is just one of one. We see them out there in the snow supporting the squad, the crazy tailgates, but they've also had some let's call them legendary moments, supporting causes from former players and even guys from other teams. What's a 5-star story about Bills Mafia from your 6 years in Buffalo when you realize that fan base is just different?
Yeah. So throughout it, I've had some good times, and I would say they lifted me up. I needed them so I can be seen. Basically, I was a 7th round pick. Most 7th rounds didn't stay on the team. I figured, there's no connection here. Let me see if I can connect with the fans. I made a play. I made an reaction. They reacted to me, and it was like, okay, I messed with them. They solid. Then they kind of picked me up throughout like message boards, So I would peep that and see like, okay, they checking for me. Let me keep going. I'm still motivated. And then I had bad times, and they were still there, like solid picking me up when I thought I let them down. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you kind of after the league, I'm saying, you step back and you see what's going on with them, and you can really dive into it and see how much they really just care about the entertainment, they city, they players. And when I say entertainment, you touched on it. They don't want to see people hurt out there from other teams. If you got a good cause going on, you need some help, holla at us. Bills Mafia is there with them. It's really family. It ain't the mafia that people thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they started a trend with that. I'd seen other fan bases do it too. I'd love to see it out there.
Yeah, that's great.
Getting back into podcasting for a second, you were part of a podcast a couple years ago. It was called Why So Serious. You guys did, I think, a little over 40 episodes, but it seemed like maybe it had some issues and it kind of fizzled out. Maybe too many hosts, inconsistency, whatever. But you were the face of that pod, but it also really didn't seem marketed correctly to me. When you relate that to our pod, we've been going for 2 years, but we kind of have the opposite issues. We have 5-star guests every week. Our strengths are our guests like you, and then being consistent. We're going every Wednesday. But to me, like, we need a guy like you with some notoriety and energy to bring some new life to this pod. So let's use a 1 to 5-star scale. Let's say 1 being never again, and 5 being let's fucking go here. What What are the chances we see Stevie Johnson as a podcast host again, and maybe even giving it a go with the one-star recruits, brother?
Man, look, I mean, I'm open to anything, and just like with the PSD, like we've known each other for years and years and years. Just one handshake, one good time, good vibe, man. We locked in forever. So you'll see me again down the road, and if we want to go into the business side of it, we always open for that, So
He's a collaborator, Rip. He's a collaborator.
Yeah.
Stevie, you might have to come out to Maui and we'll eat some Hawaiian food and discuss.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad to hear that you out there. When we do go, I'll hit you up for sure.
Hit me.
I spent some time on Maui, AAU basketball tournaments, all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, little AAU. We just had the Lahaina College basketball tournament out here. We got the Central Golf Tournament. Listeners come out. All listeners come out and visit me. In fact, shit, it's
Summer rain.
75 degrees out.
Yeah, it'll start raining on you. I love it.
DK's the club HBHF Maui branch out there. Franchise them out.
Hey, look, see how like that just happened? I didn't say it, but that happened. You feel me? That might be something that we need going.
Hey, we love making connections over here too. Last one, it's been 30 years since the Buffalo Bills have appeared in the Super Bowl. Crazy overtime loss at Kansas City in the playoffs last year. But we've seen so many good things from the squad this year. They're rolling, as always, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, 1 being no shot and 5 being absolutely guaranteed. What are the chances your Bills are going to play in and even win the Super Bowl 57 on February 12th?
5 stars. I'm going to say we going 5 stars. I feel like the guys is getting healthy. We had an impressive season. This was a very impressive season. We started off with grabbing the best defensive player in the league, the ultimate closer. He ended up getting on IR. Mm-hmm. We had take away Trey lockdown corner go down. He don't play the whole season. There's so many injuries. Micah Hyde goes down. Poyer's halfway in and out. Still makes Pro Bowls dope. It's just wild. You know what I'm saying? And we still only lost 2 or 3 games. 3 games, I believe it is. And we're getting healthier as we go. So it's a testament to the guys that's not the starters and the front runners. In that office, Bean and coaches doing an amazing job.
5 stars. 5 stars. February 12th. Super Bowl's in our hometown of Phoenix. You played there. Probably spent a fair share of time in the Valley of the Sun over there, Stevie. For maybe people sitting in the cold in Buffalo right now, just having positive thoughts, looking at what to do in Phoenix. You got any recs for people? Maybe go up to Sedona or something.
Oh yeah, no. Well, actually, I'm gonna have an NFT party going on there.
Oh, let's go.
Oh
yeah, well, Pigeons in New York. We'll be out there for Super Bowl week, and we'll just be teaching about the NFT space and things that's going on in the future and how to get involved. So it'll be something to do. I always have something to do for Bills Mafia.
Where can we sign up for that?
We'll be out there. We'll be out there during the Super Bowl week, and we'll get all the advertising out on like Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter, Minds and Pigeons in New York. NFT_NFT, and I'll just keep you in touch with everything. But that's some inside stuff that the advertising ain't even created yet. I just, you put that out there, so I'm gonna put it out there, let them know.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure there's some good fun. There is good fun. I know there's great fun in the Valley too. So maybe we'll do a fun meetup too. Double down.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds good. Let's do that. That. We may have a session at the first spot. So
get it all together. A bunch of Buffalo fans taking over a spot. Yo, you're doing so much for young football players with Club HBHF, living the dad life in San Diego. Everybody can follow your journey. Listeners, go follow this guy at Stevie Johnson 13 on Twitter, also at Club HBHF on Twitter and YouTube. The YouTube is money.
Yes.
Stevie, man, thank you, bro. I mean, you should be the next dude. If you're not going to be weekly with us, bro, I would love to see you on NFL Network or Monday Night Countdown. You got to get on at least with the Peyton Bros. You're too talented, man. You're really entertaining and you're really motivational. And I appreciate your career. I appreciate who you've become. We appreciate you.
Thank you, man. It's more to come, man. It's a lot more to come with the Exposure Academy. Even shout out to Calvin Johnson with the sports cannabis. That's something that we starting with in the Buffalo Trailblazer community. That's something that's being worked on right now, because that's huge in sports also. We got to kind of get educated and knowledge on that base, because the medicine that they're putting in, or that we kind of thought was good for us, is definitely not good for us. So
true.
So many guys we've had Ricky Williams, Jake Plummer, Calvin, yourself. I mean, so many guys getting into that space, that played in your era. And it's super important, man, just to help as a healing agent, like DK said.
Exactly. And with Exposure Academy, we get really the hands-on with these kids. We're not just putting out advertisements. We housing them for a week, and we really having these conversations, these uncomfortable talks with the people that think that they can't be spoken to. We only use football as the icebreaker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always say. Football is just the icebreaker. The sports or whatever skill that you have, just the icebreaker for us to say, oh, hey, what's up? What you do? Oh, here, let me holler at you so you can be even better in the future. You feel me?
Stevie, we are one of a kind, man. I used to sell tickets back in the day for the Golden State Warriors when we were really bad. Shout out to my guy, Monte Ellis. He was really good. But I used to say the same. I used to say, hey, come out to a gathering of really cool people when a basketball game is going to break out, and let's see what happens. And people who took that mentality usually had far a more grateful experience, and who knows what happens is really the end of the day. You meet your wife, you meet your next business partner, be engaged in life, be ready to take some risks, talk to other people. Use Stevie as an example. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Use the one-star recruits as an example. We're closed mouths don't get fed, I guess is what we're saying. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being on the one-star recruit, Stevie Johnson.
Word up, y'all. One love.
Handle biz, have fun, DK. That's what we tried to do during that interview with Stevie J. He was rocking that Buffalo Sabres jersey down in San Diego. I think we never talk about fantasy football, DK, but this is the one exception because I think you could have used Stevie J on your squad this weekend. It was you and I in the semifinals head-to-head. You rolled with Michael Pittman, the deadly combo, the legendary combo of Michael Pittman and Nick Foles for the Colts. And I honestly feel bad talking about it, because you should have beat me, and I ended up winning by 10, man. I'm sorry for your loss. One of us is moving on.
I could have literally started anybody else in the NFL and not gotten negative points, almost from both positions, but it's okay. I grew up going to an Albertsons on baseline and rural, and Michael Pittman, when he was on the Cardinals senior, used to take Michael Pittman Jr. there, so I'm going to ride with him. He's from my childhood, and he's going to be very good. I went with Big Dick Nick because you got to try to double down at this point in time when the other options are so, it's not going to make that much of a difference. You never know. It's a wild world. But anybody who plays fantasy football know if you're gonna try to go, you might as well go double down on it. And boy, was it disastrous. I was getting phone calls after that Colts game, Rip. I couldn't even take them. I couldn't even pick up the phone.
You seem like you're recovering nicely, because this was literally last night when that game went off. We're recording this on Tuesday, and I texted you, man, partly to make you feel better, but really to show you how crazy fantasy is. That I was literally seconds away from starting Russell Wilson over Gardner Minshew, and I had him in my lineup, and I switched it out right at kickoff of that Eagles game, and I would have lost by 15 if I would have started Russ. So that's fantasy for you, man.
Fantasy, congratulations to Rip in the championship game of our 18th annual. You will be playing against, I believe, Primetime. So
yep.
Got an epic matchup coming up. We'll keep you all posted. We're root for Rip. I did Rip send a text, and I still am going to do this to the third place game. I'll put it out to you. You could do some accountability, and you can show the world your true colors. I don't care. I vouched any of my winnings would go right into the pod fund for additional marketing in the future. Will you commit the same pledge?
Man, put me on the spot. I don't know if I can commit that. If I might commit a certain percentage, but I'm not committing 100%, man. I'll give a portion. I'll donate a portion of any winnings to the pod. I guarantee that.
Yeah,
but by the way, we can both we have first, second, and third place, so we can both still place money in the prizes. So if you win third place, I'll at least match you. How about that?
Match my third place. That's fair. I won a couple of these leagues some years back, and I took vacations to Spain immediately. So these usable funds for stuff. So then
you bought bikes another year, right? But we're not all like Nick B, man. We can't all have spare private jets.
Fantasy football winnings means it's the only time that my wife appreciates the fantasy football winnings, which at 2 and 18 years, the odds aren't with you. But shit, I'm eating tapas in Granada one year. And I'm driving bikes around, even though, God, my pedal broke on my bike, man. And I am just really stressed out about it. I got to take it into a bike shop. Can't believe that happened. That's when you know you're
one star moment of the week?
Nah, just going down and coming back got a little loose. And then I tried to put it back in. And I think I stripped the inside problems. I'm gonna take it to the bike shop, but it's not. It's always a bike. You know, do you put it in the car? Do you drive it there? Not the 1-star moment of the week. Now you got it in my brain, Rip. What? Okay, fantasy football over. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm at peace with it. I'm okay. I didn't belong even in the third place game, to be honest. So I'm glad you're there. You're actually really, really good. Listeners, if you want help, you can listen to this guy on Trash Talk Boys. He does do a little fantasy football segment. And Rip, I know we don't like to toot your horn all the time, but you are very good at it. And I'm rooting for you versus fucking prime time. And you want to be honest and tell the listeners that you just are off a 4-hour car drive, hopping into a podcast, trying to bring the pain. Was that your 1-star moment of the week? Did you take a pee in a 4-hour car ride before hopping on the pod?
It was a 2 hours out and back trip from Long Beach to Big Bear, California. Basically driving up a mountain, driving back down. But yeah, I stopped to pee right in Big Bear where I stopped at, and then came back. Was picking somebody up and bringing them back here. So yeah, it was it's conserving all my energy for this pod in that 4.5 hour car ride. I did see some snow. And rain.
Jeez, you sound excited about that. Sweet Lordy, that's big news.
Well, I mean, all those flight cancellations that stemming from that crazy weather back in Buffalo, man, it was good to actually see a little bit of snow, even if it was about a half inch.
I know. Did you hit that Del Taco in Corona?
No, I did not stop other than the destination. And you know me, man, I'm not a stopper. I go all the way.
I know. I think sometimes if there's an opportunity to potentially meet the ball father at somewhere in Corona, maybe shopping for the podcast, you could have stopped a little longer, possibly.
I have my iPhone out recording that selfie clip with me and LeVar. You know that. Anything for the pod.
Usually Nick B is the one who spots a lot of the celebrities, but I think he's in Salt Lake City doing some skiing at the Wasatch Mountains. So it would have been one of those things. Sometimes you catch him, Rep. That's what's sneaky about you mofo. I had a little bit of a 1-star moment of the week. Without stretching too long, Christmas. I live in Maui, and we live in kind of like a condo complex, obviously, and a lot of people aren't from here. So Christmas is you sometimes get invited to people's house. We got invited to 2 people's house. So we go to the first one, which is downstairs. Cool, have some drinks, chilling. Hey, let's go upstairs to have some drinks, chill with this other group. We don't know them though, Rip. So we just got invited by a woman who cuts our hair. So come up, they live in your complex. Come check them out. So like, okay, cool. So we go up there, and Kimmy, my wife, and my homie Jake, who's my friend downstairs, come up too. They live here. Come up too. We're chilling 10 minutes. I decided to take a seat at the bar, and I'm, doing all my bits. I got about 10 good bits of content before, I'm pretty much tapped out. And I look up and I see Kimmy and Jake saying, all right, we're going to go down because they're eating dinner too downstairs. We're going to take off, but they're serving dinner upstairs. And you can tell the woman was kind of like, and I was like, I had to make a decision. So I chilled. So they left. Me, 10 strangers on Christmas who were all family members, and I used all my content.
No way. Wait, so your wife and your friend had dinner downstairs and you had dinner upstairs?
Completely strangers I never even met before. And I was making all my worst jokes, man. I was like, I'm Jesus here. The food was so good. I made the right decision, I think, at the end of the day. No disrespect, Jake and Anna. A wonderful plate of food I brought home too, because I couldn't double eat like my homie Dave Cow anymore. I can't double eat. But man, I wish you had a camera on me, Rip, up there. I just, you know what? You wanna go test yourself? Go put yourself in a room full of 10 strangers who clearly are having family time.
This is the thing, though. You used to be like in your element, in your prime, like ticket sales, group ticket sales. This used to be like automatic for you, but you're out of practice. It hasn't happened in years. So
you're going to podcast mode, but it's different in Christmas in somebody's house on Christmas.
Yeah, no, that's thrown into the fire.
I was working for a while, but they settled back into family, and I suddenly just became a guy in the corner eating molasses apricot chicken. That was delicious, and baklava.
I'm just shocked that you and your wife had separate places for dinner on Christmas.
Well,
Christmas
I came downstairs and it wasn't a miscommunication. It was simply a one moment in time when the mom who made the food was also I was very complimentary. That's what I did spend my time doing. Compliments were being thrown out. All the food. So it was a moment in time when I thought the mom was like, damn, I got all this food. Stay here and eat. It's Christmas. And I want to support it. I don't know. I think I made the decision. I think
Were you the youngest one? Like, what was the age breakdown? Were they all
no,
older?
whole family. The woman turns out the woman who this is too much information, Rip, for our listeners. The woman ended up being an amazing foster parent. She fostered in 17 children in her lifetime. And
Wow.
she was also a representative at she met her guy Steve through an adoption center. She was the mom of moms, and the food tasted like mom of moms. And my boy Jake is the dude from Santa Fe cooking a turkey. You know what I mean? There's levels, Rip.
I hear like she's like, I've saved all these kids' lives, and I'm also an amazing cook. You're like, I have a 1-star recruits podcast. Have you ever heard of it,
Bro? Exactly, man. I was resorting back to my good stuff. Where did you guys meet? I want to just get them talking type scene.
Yeah.
And it worked for a little bit, but then it just became clearly like they're having their moments of family time, and I got a fist pound and just get out of here.
Yeah, you know the right
I don't
time
know
to
if that's
leave.
1 star. It might be 5 star because I did it. You might want to make yourself uncomfortable. But I have a really 5-star, excellent Christmas here, feeling like people around this community were taking us in, and all that good stuff. You go to sleep feeling good, full and good.
I love it, man. It's not a situation you find yourself in often. Yeah, I had a real 1-star moment of the week involving my wife too. It was Christmas Day, man. It involves Christmas gifts. My wife and I, we've been married 8-9 years now, so we're at the point where like we don't. And we're one of those couples that doesn't really buy each other huge gifts or anything like that, just practical stuff. But yeah, man, the gift I had from her this year was a little confusing to me because everyone on this pod knows that a lot of my showers I take, I have Planet Fitness. Like I do it to save money on the water bill. Everybody knows that. And so yeah, I don't shower often at home, but my wife is really trying to convert me from using the plastic Edge or whatever the hell Dial like men's soap that they are, to using bar soap, be better for the environment and all that. So DK, my stocking was filled with like 6 bars of Zest soap. That was my main Christmas present for my wife. So I don't know whether to be offended because I don't shower every day. I shower every couple of days, save water, save money, all that stuff. But it's also like her hint of trying to convert me from the plastic bottles to the bar soap. So yeah, I said this is almost like coal in my stocking. I kind of felt like for a minute it was filled with 6 bars of Zest soap.
Yeah, or you smell like shit, but that's dad life too, bro. Dad life is you don't get shit gifts. My father-in-law Robert, shout out, he's been getting the same. They just repack a solar outdoor light and it's this thing that hang up pots in the kitchen. He doesn't put it up, so they just repackage it for him every year. It's actually hilarious. This dad life. Go to the bars of soap. If you use the loofah, when you use the loofah, you don't matter the soaps.
Yeah, no, I do have the loofah, but I have this. You're supposed to rechange that loofah out, like change it out like every 3 months. I've had the same one for like 2 years, bro.
Yeah, no, you're nasty.
So much bacteria on there, but it's good. It's getting soap every shower. It's got to be clean. Come on.
No, it costs $2, man. Grab a fresh one every time you're at the grocery store. Rib, you're on your way. And the Dial is just because we grew up in Arizona, and that's what we got on the cheap at the Albertsons that I saw Michael Pittman Sr. at. It all comes together. It's not like done. Anyway, yeah, turn a negative into positive, Rib, and you're on your way. I think we can. Nobody's going to let us know other than my mother, too. But I think bars of soap are better for the environment. And you should get away from plastics. There's a lot of microplastics that soak off into those things that you're putting into your body. Who wants that shit? Nobody. How about a wreck of the week? Something good, something that made you feel good. I did a good bad where started off bad, but now I feel good. How about a good moment, a 1-star recommendation of the week, Rip? What do you got?
Yeah, it's actually this involves my wife as well. From negative to positive, like you said, the soap was to me maybe a 1-star gift, but my 5-star recommendation of the week is bundt cake. Make a bundt cake, because my wife's been doing it the last couple Christmases. She made a chocolate one with chocolate chips last year, and the other day she made a red velvet bundt cake. It was amazing, white frosting.
What makes it a bundt cake? What makes it a bundt?
It's the pan, not the bundt, BUNDT, bundt cake, and it's the
cake.
special bundt cake pan or apparatus that you put it on and you bake it, and then when it comes out, you have to dump the cake off, and you're lucky if it comes out in one piece. But this thing was perfect, man. The moisture that comes out of that thing, It is amazing 5-star cake, DK. When's the last time you made a bundt cake, if ever?
Yeah, make one of those when you get out to Hawaii. I didn't, but actually, sure as shit, your boy did make a dessert this week for the holidays. That's what I brought to the little holiday get together.
What was it? S'mores?
Nope. I first failed on a round of just regular chocolate chip cookies. As a fail. They came out very flat. Listeners, if you know why cookies come out super flat, let me know. I might have forgotten an ingredient. So pivot.
You forgot the flour, bro.
I had the flour. I think there was a baking soda, baking powder mix up. I also think this is, I don't know. I need to use the Google machine, the old Goog, but I think I used butter was a little soft, a little room temp, and it needed to be cold. Just my hypotenuse, but as a fail. And then I was in for it because I told him I was going to bring cookies over. I can't go buy cookies. Fucking Christmas. Nothing's here in Hawaii anyway. So I did peanut butter. I had some peanut butter. So I made peanut butter cookies. Shout out to Pukulani Golf Course up in Hula, Hawaii here, where every time I go play there, I get a peanut butter sandwich. And what they do, Rip, is they do peanut butter cookie sandwich. Peanut butter cookie, peanut butter cookie. Boom. Perfect for playing golf. I said, you know what? I'm going to make mini peanut butter sandwiches. And this is my rec of the week. Fuck it. Make little mini peanut butter cookies. They're so easy. The recipe's like 6 things. And then take a little bit of just regular smooth. Rip can't eat peanuts. So
I was going to say, apologies to all the peanut allergies out there.
One, bro. You're the peanut head, bro, and you can't eat them. So
like 50% of the population.
Sorry to you. This is rubbing in the room, but they were a big hit. So I'm going to let it know. You take the Jif, the smooth Jif, and you mix it with a little powdered sugar, just so it gets a little sweeter. Then you just take them, sandwich them up like little macaroons. Mini peanut butter cookies. Huge winner. Had at least 4 compliments on those mofos. Rec of the week.
And 3 allergic reactions. Merry Christmas. DK, man, I'll be out there. I'm going to see you in 4 days, I believe. You going to pick me up at the Kahului Airport, OGG?
Yeah, I'll pick you up at OGG, man. Cut over there, take a right, go chill by the rental cars. Our guy on Shooting 2 podcast, no Big Rossi, where to chill when you get off that thing. And I'm gonna get you and the family, and we'll do a little bit of aloha. Get ready to use suntan lotion every single day. I'm
on it, man. A white skin, and the next pod will be both of us in person, I believe, from somewhere on Maui in your house, and possibly a live interview from the Century Tournament of Champions. We'll see. But yeah, DK, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen you in about 1.5 years in person, which is crazy, but I'll see you in 3 days, man.
Can't wait. Give us 5 stars. Buffalo Bills fans, thanks for joining us. Ted's Hot Dogs, if you're in Arizona for the Super Bowl, I'm wishing you guys well, and I hope that you're going to be there. I think you're a great fan base, and I know you love AZ, but if you get out there, Ted's Hot Dogs, it's a Buffalo classic in Tempe. Get yourself a dog, even though my boy Nick B thinks that the whole thing changed. Conversation for a different day. Happy New Year. 1-star recruits, 5 stars as a little gift for us. If you enjoyed this, we'll be back with you in 2023 with some fresh ones. Take care.
See you next year.